Recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Madison, this is Tina, and that's Bree. And today we're going to be going over the comparative anatomy of desert animals. And so more specifically, what we're going to be talking about is three different types of animals, three different species of animals, one being a reptile and the other two being mammals, but they have very different ways of living. So we're going to talk about how they retain and get rid of heat, and how they get water, and how they camouflage / defend themselves in such a plain and arid like environment. There's not much place to hide. So we're going to see what they use to survive in the desert environments. And now Tina is going to take it away.
Okay, so my name is Tina Shield, and I'm going to be talking about this cute little guy called the Jerboa. So he is really unique. He's a nocturnal burrowing rodent. He is found in North Africa and Asia. There's a little over 24 species of this little friend. And they evolved from mice, which you can probably tell from their tiny little arms and body shape, but they're unique with their ability to jump really long distances really quickly without expending a lot of energy. And they obtain their water from vegetation and insects instead of drinking it because they live in the desert. And now we're going to go over the anatomical features of the Jerboa. So firstly, it's nocturnal, so it has really large eyes to help it see in the dark. And it has these really large ears. This helps with heat exchange because the large surface area is filled with blood vessels, which releases heat from the body, so lets them cool down. Then it has, these ears also have hairs to prevent sand from getting in there and getting all clogged because they are burrowing. And similar to the ears, the snout or nose, it has these folds that make it look like a snout to prevent sand from getting stuff in their nose when they're burrowing. So these short little arms kind of look like a T-Rex. They are really helpful and really strong at digging through sand and digging really complex tunnels that they live in throughout the year. Next, we're going to move on to their tail, which really helps with their balance because, as I'll show you in a second, they can jump really high for really long distances. And so this springy tail helps them move and turn really quickly. And then their most unique feature is their long legs. So these long legs are adapted to where this bone right here is the femur. This is the fibula and tibia. And then this is actually their ankle, with their foot being this long bone right here, and they stand on their toes like a cat. So this makes their legs really strong so they can jump really far without expending lots of energy, like I said. And this helps them really evade predators really well. And now we're going to watch a short little video that shows how high they can jump.
The hind limbs are really, really long and dramatically different. They are capable of jumping 3 feet straight up in the air.
So as you can see in that video, their really strong legs helps them jump straight up, while their tail helps them maintain balance midair. So moving on.
All right, guys, so now we're going to talk about the Texas horn lizard. And these guys are really cool. They have very good camouflage all over their body. They have black dots, brown dots, white stripes all over their body, so they blend very well into their environment. But they also have spikes or spines all over their body. And uniquely, the way to tell them apart is that they have 6 spines going across their head. So these spines aren't just for show, they're actually for defense. When a predator tries to swallow or attack it, it will inflate its body and use the spines to stab the throat of the predator that is eating it. They also have another very unique defense mechanism, and that is that they can shoot blood from their eyes. It's very hardcore and metal. So these lizards are pretty one of the most metal lizards you're ever gonna find. They actually can pop a blood vessel in their eye and aim it and shoot it at the predator, which is very advanced. It's not just a pop and go anywhere. It's a pop and aim. But they also go into estivation over the winter, and that means that they burrow underground and they basically go into a hibernation state. But you may be asking, well, what's the difference between hibernation and estivation? Well, I'm going to tell you that. Hibernation occurs only in warm-blooded animals, otherwise known as endothermic animals. But estivation occurs when animals live in very harsh or dry conditions, and that's where the horned lizard lives. So it's going to go into an estivation state and slow down the whole system to conserve energy in its body. They also have another super unique mechanism of surviving. As you can see, I haven't gone over how they obtain water. Well, they obtain water by capillary action, and this is a form of water consumption unique to the genus. It's used when it rains, and so basically the water will go into the grooves of the scales and be pushed up to the mouth. And that's how they consume a lot of water. But other than that, they get most of their water from their diet, which is ants, harvester ants or carpenter ants more specifically. And in the video, you can see there's water droplets hitting the body of the lizard, and the lizard's actually drinking. It's swallowing water right now, but the water is hitting all over the body. So it's able to shoot that water upwards against gravity into the mouth. And next, I'll show you this video about how the blood shoots from the eyes.
That swelling below the lizard's eye isn't a tear duct. It's high-octane coyote repellent, aka blood. Let her rip. Blood pressure builds up to the point where the lizard can actually shoot blood out of its eye with the precision aim of a sharpshooter. And yes, it's nothing more than plain old blood.
And now Brian's gonna take it away.
All right, okay. Hi guys, and last but certainly not least, we have the Fennic Fox. Okay, so what's the first thing you guys see whenever you look at this fox? The nose? No. Okay, it's the ears, the big ears. Okay, so they're gonna have very large ears, and since they live in the desert, this is gonna help them with supplying surface area to release like all the excess body heat, as well as keep them cool. And then they're also gonna use their ears to listen for prey when they're buried underneath the sand. And they're also gonna have very long and thick fur coats with a wool undercoat, and this is gonna provide insulation during the cold nights, as well as provide protection from the sun during the day. And they also are gonna have the thick fur, especially on the paws, and this is gonna be especially helpful for them because it's gonna give them grip. It's gonna help when they're like running along the really hot sand, and it's also gonna reduce sound when they're hunting for prey. Another feature that they're gonna have, since they live in the desert, they're gonna have extreme panting for temperature regulation. So with this is also gonna kind of like keep their temperatures regulated when the heat increases. And at times of extreme heat, they're able to increase their breathing from 23 breaths per minute to around 690. The next thing, so they need to keep hydrated. So in order to do that, their kidneys are going to be adapted to maintain as much water as possible and prevent any excess water from leaving their bodies via the excretory system. The next thing, they're nocturnal. So with this, they're going to have a specialized kind of eyesight, and I will show a picture of that now. So with this, they're going to have a reflective layer behind the retina called a tatum, and you can see it right there. And this is going to help them kind of like see at night, so they're able to see prey and also see their whole pack, right? And then now I have like a little video that's kind of going to summarize everything that I say. You can start at 34 seconds.
Animal logic. Fennec foxes are common across the Sahara Desert, where temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius and at night can plunge well past freezing. To cope with extreme temperatures, they have some really clever adaptations. Their adorably huge ears are full of blood vessels. As blood travels through their ears, it gets cooled down before coming back to the fennec's core. This helps them keep cool even on the warmest days. Their beige-colored coat not only helps them blend in with their sandy environment, but their light coloring also deflects heat from the sun. At night, during the coldest months, their thick fur and bushy tails keep them warm. Their paws are also covered in fur to protect them from the scorching sand. They look like they will drink water to their belly's content. But the rest of the time, they don't drink water at all. Their kidneys are super efficient, and they can absorb all the moisture they need from their prey, which are usually small mammals and insects. Their ears are extremely sensitive and can hear their prey scurrying on or under the sand from great distances. Fennec foxes have yet another surprising way of getting water. They're self-sustainable homes. These little foxes live in dens, which collect dew at night. These dens can be quite spacious and may collect large amounts of moisture during the colder months. But their homes are much more than dew collectors. They can be the sole refuge for up to 10 fennecs at a time. Fennec foxes
Okay, so the last thing we have here is a pick the best adapted. It's a short little game. So you can probably guess which one would be the best adapted for a desert environment. But this one right here is a strawberry poison dart frog. This is an Arctic hare. This is a laughing gull, which is very common here on the coast. And then this is a meerkat. So if you guessed meerkat, you're right. It is the meerkat. They are most adapted to live in desert environments. You'll see them in the zoo living in desert-esque environments. They have that sandy coat and they live in big colonies. Thank you for watching and listening. These are our sources. Okay.